Hey everyone, it's Aisha White, and this is my first upload of 2020, so I'm super excited to be back and filming videos again, back into the groove. I was off for a while, taking care of myself, had stomach flu for a little bit, and recovered from that, and just been busy with work and life in general, and just trying to get back to me again. If you're watching this for the very first time or watching my channel for the very first time, once again, my name is Aisha White and I make videos about communication, becoming a better communicator. I'm an introvert and I can sometimes be awkward in social situations, and sometimes it's difficult for me to kind of find the right words to say and stumble over them, or just my mind goes blank. And so I would like to do something about that, as going about life as an adult and a human being, and you have to interact with people. You want to kind of be able to figure out how to do that successfully. So this channel is about that. And even if you're not an awkward introvert, you still may be able to gain something from the channel. If you're wondering why I'm dressed like the poor man's Daenerys Targaryen, well, during my break, I got some TV watching in. I did. And I've been aware of Game of Thrones for years. I'm that type of person that, I don't know, when something's popular, I know that it's gonna make me sound like a horrible person, but when something's popular, I'm like, okay. Like, I feel that it's like, I'm suspicious of popular things for some reason. I go into things with suspicion, and I'm like, why is everyone hyping it up so much? Is it really that good, or am I made to believe that it's that good because everyone's telling me? And I don't want to go watch a show just because everyone's telling me to do it. I want to stumble across a show and be like, okay, this has my attention, I'm gonna watch it, and it'd be an active decision that I make for myself. The topic of today's video is about rejection. I thought, hey, we're coming up to Valentine's Day, talking about relationships. Everybody's not in a relationship. Some people maybe put their heart on the line and it didn't end well. Or maybe you're considering opening up to somebody and just kind of letting them know how you feel about them, confessing your feelings to them. Or you are on the other end of things where you know someone's interested in you and you're just trying to let them down gently. This topic was actually inspired by one of my viewers. He placed in the comment section the question months ago, hey, can you talk about how to reject somebody? And I thought that was an interesting topic. And at that moment in time, I was like, well, I don't know if I'm equipped to talk about it. And it took a while for me to kind of think back to experiences I had on both sides of things. I guess that's no surprise, but when I was on the end of rejection, when I was the one being rejected, and I can more vividly remember how that felt and how things went versus when I was the one rejecting somebody. And I think it's just because, not that either side of things is easier, I just think that when you're the one rejecting somebody, sometimes it's easier to take it for granted. And every case is different, of course, and I don't mean that across the board, but it's just if you're already like in a relationship with somebody, or you're getting ready to enter into a relationship with somebody, you are already kind of tied up in that, and your emotions are invested in that situation. And if someone comes along and it wasn't known to you these feelings that they had, it's a lot easier to go, oh, I'm so sorry, but actually this is what's going on, than to be the person who is like, here are all my feelings. Oh, you don't want them. Oh, okay. And you have to like take that and sit with that. So it's the experiences are different. They're both difficult in a lot of cases. So I've named these two sides of things. The heartbreakers are the ones rejecting people, and the brave of heart are the people who are brave enough to confess their feelings to the other person. If you are the object of someone's affection and you don't reciprocate those feelings, you just don't have them, then I think the most important thing to do is to be honest with that person and let them know that you don't feel the same way. it starts to get complicated, and you start to risk hurting that person on a deeper level if you are not honest with them right away. Because you can lead that person on. If they have feelings for you and you're not clear that it's a yes or it's a no, then often what happens is the person's looking for a loophole, or it's just hope. They're holding on to hope that you will in some way change your mind if you are not upfront with them right away. So if there's no chance that you're going to be with that person, then tell them that. But, in the tactful manner, not there's no way that we're being together. You, me, no way. Like, it's okay to, treat them with care when you let them know, but be honest. All too often, I've seen examples of people who do take advantage of someone who has expressed their feelings for them. You might not be attracted to that person, or they may have qualities that they don't mesh well with yours. And instead of saying, hey, you're a really nice person, you are XYZ, but unfortunately, I don't feel the same way. What some people will do is not be clear and string that person along for their own benefit. So if this person is a person that's buying gifts for them, then they'll continue to receive gifts even though they are not interested in that person and never will be. If that person is willing to buy them food, then it's like, well, there's a free meal involved in this. Whatever they have to do without necessarily giving so much to the point where they're actually in a relationship with that person or saying I love you to that person. You're giving your very least to this person in order to continue stringing them along because you know that it's for your benefit. And I'm not trying to paint people out to be evil or villains, but I've seen it happen in different cases, whether it's guys or girls. Some people will continue to accept gifts in whatever different form, whether it's food, whether it's money, just items being given to them, even though they have no intention of ever being with a person. And at the heart of that gift giving is somebody wanting to shower you with things that they think that you like, or that they know that you've voiced in the past that you're a fan of, and they're like, oh, let me give this over to this person so that they see that I care about them, that I'm thinking of them, and I listen to them. But truly, on the end of things, when you are the heartbreaker and you're not being upfront that you are not interested, then the best thing to do is to not receive gifts from that person and not to string them along, because in the end, it's just what you're doing is lengthening the period of time of investment. They're investing more and more energy and more emotions into your situation. And so when it comes to a point in time where now, let's say you're about to get in a relationship now, and you don't have time to continue flirting with them or whatever you're doing, whatever your dynamic is, you can no longer engage in that same way. Then now you're going to completely be out of things, and they're just kind of caught off guard, and they've still got those feelings and they don't know what to do at that point. And so it's just really messy. What happens is the waters get murky and things get messy when you're not upfront and you're not honest about how you truly feel about somebody. So first and foremost, be honest with that person. And also don't feel bad for turning somebody down. If you just genuinely are not attracted to somebody, you can't make yourself be attracted to them. If they have qualities that are not something you're looking for, then that's just the case. Some people have certain preferences, and we could get into the details all day long about what you might consider to be a reasonable preference and something that's completely unreasonable and unrealistic. But at the end of the day, people have preferences, and if somebody is just not what you're looking for whatever reason, you don't have to feel bad about that. As long as you are treating them with respect, and just try and treat them the way that you would want to be treated if you were in their shoes. Just think of it that way. If you can apply a bit of empathy to the situation, so you kind of go, hey, I'm sorry, but this is how I feel. These are the facts. And I don't want to hurt you, but it would hurt you more if we continued on. And if I wasn't clear with you right away how I feel. And so it's always going to be best to just be upfront about things. And you shouldn't have to feel bad about it. And in that moment, of course, it's very uncomfortable. It's awkward, and you have to find your footing, particularly if it's somebody that's like your friend. Then you have to sometimes find your footing with them again, and sometimes things never return to the way that they were before the big reveal, occurred, when they revealed their feelings to you. And it can make things uncomfortable, and in the future, sometimes it ends up damaging the relationship. So that's the risk that is taken when someone confesses their feelings to you. If you are a heartbreaker, a person that's rejecting someone, I will say, please remember how brave it is of someone to come forward with their feelings. Everybody's not willing to do that. Everybody's not in a place that they can necessarily do that, but it is a brave act. I remember came across it on social media, somebody that I had attended school with, and they said that guys experience rejection multiple times in one day when they're trying to talk to girls. And hey, it's all in the approach, is how I feel. So I mean, if you're being a creep, then you can expect to be rejected. But if you're being a gentleman and you genuinely are, walking up to someone and talking to them and treating them like a human being and being respectful, then I understand how that can be discouraging. Your success rate is not great, is what is happening. And so sometimes you start to question, like, am I this, am I that, whatever it is. And so it can be tough to be the one taking rejection. And so the point of what they were saying was just kind of like guys versus girls, and women sometimes so easily are like, boy, bye, like, get out of here. And without giving a second thought to the fact that, like, that person worked up the courage to come up to you and to try to talk to you. And so it's worth at least acknowledging that, hey, that was a brave act for someone to do. And once again, like I said, it's one thing if somebody's being respectful and addressing you as a human being. It's another when somebody's being inappropriate or rude and coming with this, like, sense of privilege and expectation that you want to talk to me. Of course you do. Like, how could you not? I do think that it's a brave act to confess your feelings to somebody. And so just acknowledging the fact that somebody was courageous enough to come up and tell you how they felt. And if you can be respectful in return, then that's great. And so maybe at the end of the day, you won't be so much of a heartbreaker. It'll suck that you're turning somebody down and, they have to experience that. But so much better than, lying or leading somebody on and making them think that there is hope and think that there is some sort of future with you when there genuinely is not. It's just no point to it. It's hurting the other person at the end of the day. And if you can view them as a person with feelings and kind of just look toward the future and how it could really affect somebody negatively if you are taking advantage of their kindness and using it for your own gain. So, hey, heartbreakers out there, be honest. Don't feel bad about being honest. Acknowledge the fact that somebody's being courageous enough to tell you their feelings. So this Valentine's Day and any other point in the year, I hope that you'll take that information and, apply it to whatever situation you might be going through. And I hope it'll help. The brave of heart. The brave of heart. So you have these feelings, right, for this person, and you feel like maybe they're like the only one that you've ever had these type of feelings for. And you're thinking about telling them. As I've told the heartbreakers, the brave of heart, the first thing is to be honest. You don't have to reveal your feelings to this other person if you don't want, but if you want your life to change in some sort of way, then there's only one way to do that. If you want your relationship, whatever it is, with this person to change, then all you can really do is be honest with them. You tell them what your feelings are, and they're either gonna say, I have those same feelings also, or they're gonna say, I'm sorry, I don't. But neither equals the end of the world. Of course it's gonna hurt to be rejected, but no forward progression will have occurred if you are not honest about how you feel, and you go ahead and just say what you're thinking, say what you're feeling. Don't feel embarrassed. If you tell somebody how you feel and they say no thank you, essentially, don't feel embarrassed. You were being brave. This is why I'm calling you a brave of heart. A brave of heart. You're being brave by coming forward and telling somebody that. Everybody is not comfortable with that level of vulnerability, and for you to get to that place where you felt you could say those words, whatever they are, to that person, and knowing that there's the possibility that it might not go well, and that's a really, really brave thing to do. And so don't ever feel embarrassed that or regret that you expressed those feelings to the person. It was good that you got it out. And if nothing else, it was practice for the future when you confess your love to somebody else who feels the same way. And it'll be great. And you'll be like, oh, and all the feelings, all of it will come about, and it'll be a good thing and something that you don't regret, something that you're super happy that you were honest about. If you're rejected, don't immediately start to think, oh no, it's me, I must be a monster to them, like I must be so ugly, or I'm not smart at all, or I'm a boring person. Don't start to beat yourself down and go through this list of things that you are not. You oftentimes we're not given the insight or full insight as to why we were rejected. Sometimes people are like, I'm sorry, I just don't see you that way. I am guilty. I have used that tired line of it's like I'm cringing at the thought of it, but being like, you're like a brother to me. And I admit it was like an easy out rather than having to explain all my reasonings, or at that time I'm not sure if I even knew the reasons why I didn't want to be with that person. All I knew was I don't want to be with this person, and the first thing that came out was, you're like a brother to me, even though maybe we weren't really super close like that. I don't know that I would call them like a brother. Like, I have biological brothers that I'm overthinking it now, but anyway, I've used that line before, and because it sometimes it's the first thing that comes to mind. It's the easier thing to say, but for the person who is the brave of heart, that's like the last thing you want to hear, is that you're like a sibling to that person. That's like, I see no romantic future with you at all. Zero. Absolutely zero. Romantic prospects, none. It's like we came from the same parent. So that's romantic, right? Like I said, don't start to overthink it. Don't start to think that it's you, and doubt who you are as a person based upon the fact that somebody rejected you. You can't make somebody feel a certain way about you. You can't make somebody be attracted to you, make somebody be interested in whatever your interests are. Everybody is not compatible, and that's okay. Some people live really complicated lives. You just never know why they might be rejecting you, or the full picture of it. Some people live really complicated lives, and they might be in their minds at least, may be thinking that they're trying to shield you from that, or that maybe they feel you couldn't handle whatever is going on in their life. Maybe they have this like ideal person in their head that they feel that they will end up with, and you don't fit that bill in whatever way. And there's nothing you can really do about that. But never start to turn like anger or hatred or anything like that inward, and feel as though you done something wrong or you don't measure up, because you start to get into a dangerous place of comparisons. I know I've been in that place before also, was feeling rejected, and immediately it's like, okay, well, let me try and change these things about me, or I wonder if I change these things about myself, would they want to be with me, or would they consider me attractive or smart or whatever it is if I took up these interests or whatever it is, and try to change who I am. But all of us are different. All of us are unique people, and that's what makes us beautiful. Our differences are what makes us beautiful. And so you shouldn't have to change who you are in order to morph into this ideal person for somebody else, because at the end of the day, you'll be the one that's unhappy. You've tried to change yourself, and you get in the relationship, you're resenting that person because you are not enjoying it in the way that you thought you would, because you went into it as a whole nother person. Don't try and change yourself, and don't doubt yourself and feel that it's completely you. But yeah, in the comment section, definitely share your experiences if you've been a person to reject somebody, or if you've been a person on the opposite end of things and receive rejection. That's the only way that something is going to change. It's the only way that anything will happen for you, is if you're honest and show people love. That's kind of at the point of the video, right? You're confessing your love, or you're saying, I'm sorry, I don't have this love to give you. Whether you're rejecting, whether you're being rejected, like, do it with love. Express your feelings and let them know in a loving way how you feel. If you're somebody who is rejecting the person, do it in a loving way. And loving is just meaning, don't treat them like dirt. Like, be gentle and treat them like a human being in the way that you, gently let them down. Quick tip: if you are somebody who has feelings for someone and you're thinking about expressing those feelings to them, and you're not sure exactly how they feel, it's hard to figure people out sometimes. Sometimes, this is an understatement. People are complicated, and they can be hard to figure out, especially when feelings come into play, romantic feelings. But I would say that it's probably a good rule that if you tell the person that you have these feelings for how you feel, and you say, I love you, if they say thank you, if they say that is so sweet, if they say I'm flattered, or anything else that is not I love you too, then you can pretty much bet that the feeling's not mutual. And that hurts to think about, and to be like, oh, okay, yeah, because I've said that and I didn't get that exact response, the I love you back. Because if you have strong enough feelings for somebody, you're gonna let them know how you feel because you want to be with them. If you know that somebody's interested in you and you have those feelings also, you're gonna let them know, so that like the relationship will commence. Otherwise it'll just be pointless, and you're just wasting time. So think about it in terms of that. Like, if that person had equal feelings for you, if you just told them I love you and they had the same feelings for you, then they would let you know, and it would be very clear, and like there would be no reason for them to continue on holding on to those feelings. I don't know if things were complicated, and there's all kinds of reasons why somebody would not express how they feel, if it's like inappropriate, or maybe y'all are in a situation where, I don't know, because of work or something like that, you're not able to be with that person. But if it's like a legit morally like sound situation, then I mean, there's nothing that person would have to lose in telling you how they feel. So just, I would say, err on the side of caution, and consider that if somebody doesn't say I love you back, if that person doesn't reciprocate those words or feelings, then it's a bit of an indicator there for you that they don't feel the same way. And you can take that and honestly use that as a tool to be motivation for you to move on, and just know that there are so many other people out there, and that's not it. That's not the end for you. Also, I want to say, do not wait around for someone. You have so much value, so much light and beauty within you, and time is precious. And you don't have time to sit around and wait for somebody to change their mind. Years ago, I had somebody tell me that they were interested in this girl, and they let the girl know, like, hey, I've got these feelings for you. And she said, well, actually, I'm interested in this one guy, and I want to see if he's interested in me too. And so, like, once I get my answer with that situation, if he says no, then I'll let you know. And I was like, what? Like, it angered me for him. I was like, that's absolutely ridiculous. I think it's incredibly selfish to make somebody wait for you to figure out whether or not somebody's interested in you, and then you're like, and then I'll come back to you if that doesn't work out. Like, you're letting the person know you are the plan B. You are the backup plan in case this plan doesn't work out. And I think that's a heartbreaker move, all right? And if you are the person who has expressed your feelings to that person, please do not wait around for them, because that's disrespectful to you. They're not respecting your time and your self-view and all these wonderful qualities about you. Because if they can't recognize that right then and there and appreciate it, then that's their loss. And I know it sounds cliche to be like, oh, it's their loss, but genuinely, that's their loss. If they cannot see the person that you are right then and there, then oh well, you move on, and somebody else will. There are so many people in this world. That's the beauty of it, is like there's so many people, and multiple people will be able to recognize the beauty and the light that you bring to the world, and you don't have to sit around and wait for one person. I think that a lot of times that's where we get stuck. Once again, I know I've been in that situation before, being on the rejection and the things where you see this person in this specific way that makes them feel, or makes it appear as though they're the only one, or they're the only one that can do this or that, or they're the best at this. And it's just like, you've just got tunnel vision and you've got blinders on, because you've sought that person out and went, this is the one for me, and I'm gonna go all in on this person. And there are a lot of people in this world, and there are a lot of people who can say sweet things and make you laugh, and whatever these qualities are, there are multiple people with those qualities. And so don't get hung up on one person. If that one person doesn't have those same feelings for you, then that's okay, and it's okay. You continue living life, and don't focus on finding the next person that will appreciate you. Grow as a person, fully appreciate yourself, fully love yourself, and you're gonna attract people, because they'll see that you got something special about you, and they'll see the joy that you bring, and they'll be like, I need to get in on that. Please tell me what you got going on in your life that's making you so happy, so full of joy. Let me know, and I want to be a part of it. So that's just hopefully encouraging to people out there, that people that are like, oh, I gotta break the news to somebody that don't feel the same way. The fact that you're breaking the news to them, the fact that you're telling them the truth, you're already like leaps ahead of somebody who's stringing somebody else along. And if you're the person that's considering calling that person up, or sitting down with somebody and telling them how you feel, good for you. You're a brave person for doing it, and braver than a lot of people. And that's not to say anything negative about anybody who hasn't confessed their feelings. Like I said, they might not be comfortable for whatever reason. They may be in a situation where it would compromise things if they were to express those feelings that they have. But good for you. So have a happy Valentine's Day, Valentine's weekend if you're celebrating. If you're single, then so what? Like, you know, like, have fun, have a great Friday, and yeah, just overall, I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you so much for watching. Hello to my OG subscribers, the people who've been with me from the beginning of my channel, and hello to new subscribers. I hope to continue making content that is appealing to you, and if you've got ideas, if you've got suggestions, if you've got just general comments you want to share, hit up the comment section, hang out there, let me know how you feel, what you're thinking, and I may be able to use a topic that you share for an upcoming video. I'd love to engage with you. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.